Growing a small account is not easy. I've seen this question come up in Discords and on social media. How do I grow my account fast? The thing is, you can't grow your account and take the same trades that seven-figure traders take. It's just not possible. You will end up blowing your account or even quitting trading too soon. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly how I plan to grow my account in 2026, how many contracts I will be trading at each account milestone, and the specific tickers I will be focusing on. If you're trading with a small account and you want a structured and specific roadmap, this video is for you. Before we get started with this video, I'm going to talk about challenges of growing a small account. When you first start trading and you're trading with a small account, your progress will feel really slow. You might start off by making maybe $50 a day or $50 per trade, and you might feel like you're not progressing. This is too small, but if you stick with it, you'll be able to scale your account. It's also hard to leave runners. By leaving runners, I mean like maybe when you take a trade and you see how some traders online are like, oh, I left some runners to capture the trend because they had scaled some of their position to realize some profit. When you have a small account, you can afford to buy a lot of option contracts. I trade options, so I'm specifically speaking to options here. You can be able to buy more than maybe 3 option contracts, depending on your small account size at a time, to be able to capture that trend. While we're talking about gains, leaving runners, and progress, it's also really quick to blow up your account. That account could go from small to non-existent real fast if you're not careful. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the important Greeks that I will be using to scale this account. You need to understand the delta, gamma, and theta when you're trading options. I'm going to be using options to scale this account. That's why I'm talking about options. I made a separate video about how to manage your risk while you trade options, and I explained these Greeks in details, and I provided an example on how to manage your risk and size your trades in that video in more detail. But for the sake of this video, I'll go over it really quickly. And if you don't understand, I would recommend you go check out that older video and then watch this video again. But the delta measures how much the option price changes for a dollar change in the stock price. So if, say, Apple is trading at, I'll say $300, right? If Apple moves to 301 and the delta on the 300 contracts is 0.5 and you bought the 300 option calls, the change in those contracts would be around 0.5, right? And then once it gets to 301, the delta is going to change because the gamma has now taken effect. The gamma measures the changes in the delta. So if the gamma on those contracts was 0.03, mind you, you have to multiply these numbers by 100 because of how options are priced. If you don't know options, you need to learn or read or Google about options. Don't trade options if you don't understand them. I can make a full in-depth video if people demand it and people would watch it. So just leave a comment below. So the gamma would then be added to the delta, which would then escalate things. And that's where you see people printing money as the stock runs in your favor. If it doesn't run in your favor, it's even worse because it starts to accelerate when the gamma will kick in and you can keep holding on to your position. Your losses just get bigger. Theta measures time decay. If you're an options trader and you trade weekly expiration, or some people that are even brave, they trade same-day expiry contracts, your theta comes into effect the closer you are to that contract expiration. So if you're trading weekly contracts, for example, this is the week of December 1st. The weekly contracts will be December 5th, right? So as you get closer to December 5th, those contracts start moving really quick. It means if you're right, you make a lot of money, but if you're wrong, oh boy, you better cut your losses fast. Now that I've shared how important the Greeks are to growing your account, I'm gonna go over and talk about the scaling strategy. So these are the 3 account ranges that I consider small accounts, and I'm gonna be breaking down the risk per trade at each phase and the number of contracts you should probably be trading, depending on several factors, of course. So when you are at the $2,000 to $5,000 phase and you're just starting out, ideally, you don't want to just jump in and start trading more than 1 contract. You start with 1 contract to get used to the strategy, and then you can increase to 2 contracts to practice like maybe taking profit at one level and then maybe waiting for the next level to hit to take profit. Or you could be that person that just takes the 2 contracts off at your 1 to 2 risk to reward, depending on how you trade. But I recommend starting with 1 contract to understand the strategy first and to keep your losses at a minimum. You're risking around $50 per trade and you're only taking 1 trade. Please, 1 trade per day. The reason for 1 trade per day is because we're learning the strategy. We want to reduce the odds of revenge trading and blowing the accounts or FOMOing and just taking random setups. You want to wait for the best shot in a day. And if there's no setup, don't trade because your account is small. And if you get into bad habits, you could just blow the account. So at this $2,000 to $5,000 phase, you're trading 1 to 4 contracts. You're trying to make sure that you are not getting overconfident to blow the account and you don't scale up and increase your risk too quickly. And you don't want to be trading contracts that have very high deltas. If the delta on the contract is $80, I recommend you don't touch it. At this phase, personally, trade SPY. You trade SPY, you trade QQQ and Apple. QQQ, this thing's not. And then you trade Apple, right? You trade SPY, QQQ, and Apple. I don't know why this is not okay. So at this phase, Apple will be a good one to also trade because those 3 tickers have low deltas on their weekly contracts. And you don't want to trade 0DTs as well. And then when you now hit the $5,000 to $7,000 range, mind you, you've scaled your account from $2,000 and you're now at the $5,000 to $7,000 range. You can then be like, okay, let's add 1 more contract. Go to 4 to 5, because I feel like in the beginning when you're still growing your account and you're still going to be making certain mistakes. So scaling too fast is a problem. I learned the hard way, and that's why I'm sharing this video, because scaling too fast, you learn the hard way and you could go into deep drawdown. So the goal here is to scale your account to a point where you can grow, you can protect your downside because you still be prone to mistakes. You would have days where you take the wrong trades or maybe hold a loser too long. You want to be able to not grow too fast and master yourself and through repetition. So around the $5,000, $7,000 range, you're only risking $250 to $350 and you're trading 4 to 5 contracts. You're probably wondering, why didn't you see a big jump? Yes, it's to protect you and to keep stacking the account. The time to actually scale aggressively would come. I feel like if you can then go from 2,000 and eventually grow your account to 7,000 without blowing up and doing it incrementally and following the rule of not having trading contracts with high deltas more than $50, which is maybe when you look at the option chart, it would show as 0.5 delta. What that means is that you multiply by 100 because you're trading options. It means that delta on the contract is 50. So when the stock moves up or down by 1, your delta is going to change by 50. The contract price will increase from say $200 to $250. I hope that's clear. So that's why I'm telling you to start off with 1 contract you're risking. You're using your delta to size for your risk, and assuming your risk is $1 each time you enter the trade, you're protected, right? So when you now get to the $7,000, $10,000 phase, your risk can then slightly increase gradually to $350 to $500, and then you're able to trade anywhere from 5 to 10 contracts, depending on the name, depending on the tickers that you're going to trade. Now I'm going to go over and mention the tickers you're going to trade at each phase because you can't go and be trading Tesla with a $2,000 account. You're asking for trouble. Or you're trading Meta with this account size. That's asking for trouble. So the tickers you are going to trade when you're just starting out, SPY, QQQ, Apple, and NVIDIA are your best friends. Those are the tickers that I recommend you trade when your account is within 2,000 to 5,000, within that range consistently. Cool. You master them because their contracts are relatively cheap and the deltas on those contracts are typically not more than 0.5 and they're manageable. So you're able to manage your risk. Now, you're probably wondering why I have AMD, Amazon, Google, and PLTR in orange. I have them in orange because lately I've noticed that AMD's contracts have become expensive, and not only expensive, they're a little bit spready and have relatively high deltas on in the money option contracts, right? Amazon, spready. Google, can be spready. PLTR, pretty spready and volatile. So I don't recommend touching them until your account really truly is around the $5,000 mark. Maybe around 4,000 you can probably start touching them, but I recommend do not start including these other names until your account's around 5,000. And I have Tesla in red because as much as people with small accounts attempted to trade Tesla is not really ideal for small accounts. But there's a way around it, and I will make a separate video on how you could trade Tesla if you have a small account, just by gauging the option chain and taking advantage of the delta itself. I'll try and make that in a separate video. But if you're just starting out and you have a balance that is less than 5,000, do not touch Tesla. Leave it alone. The delta on those contracts are typically around 50 to 80, but the thing is Tesla moves fast. So you could literally be risking maybe $1 and you enter that trade and you lose $100. So if you have a $2,000 account, you've lost $100 in one day. That could be a shock to your system. You could be like, whoa, that's 10% of that's good 5% of my account. Just poof, you know? And for you, you might, I don't know, in the beginning, it felt like a shock losing $100 the first time I touched Tesla. And I was like, okay, I'm not ready for this. But I didn't learn until I lost $1,000 trying to trade Tesla. I made a video about that on my channel as well. But you need to be mindful what you trade, because the tickers you trade can also make or break you when you're trying to scale your account. So as for me, I'm going to be around the $5,000 range. So I would be able to now trade Tesla. You have to be strategic with your contract selection. Like I said in the beginning, your Theta, I don't know, is your time decay. You want to avoid it when the market is choppy, but you also don't want to trade same week expirations once we get to Thursday, right? From Monday to Wednesday, you can trade the same week expiration. What does that mean? Today, say it's December 1st. If I'm trading, I'm taking December 5th. What am I doing? If I'm trading, I'm taking December 5th contracts. That's what I mean by same week. But because your trading options, like I said, your Theta comes into effect the closer you are to expiration. It means it starts to kick in. And if you have a high Theta increases as you get closer to expiration, right? So if you're wrong, if you're going to lose $50 on Monday, you're probably going to lose $80 on a Thursday. On Friday, even worse, you're going to lose probably $100 on a Friday. So if you're trading on December 5th and you take a contract expiring on December 5th, if you're going to lose $50 on Monday, you're losing $100 on Friday. So if you're having a small account, from Thursday, I highly recommend you flip to the next week. What does that mean? It means that now you start to take December 12th expiration. I know, but 0DTA, you make a lot of money, but you can also lose. And at this point, you don't want to be thinking about how much you can make. That's a mistake and trap that a lot of traders make, is you're thinking, oh, how much can I make? How much can I make? But how much can you lose? You have to think about that and make sure your downside is capped, because if you can protect the downside, then you can just staircase effect. If you're planning to trade for a long time, you want to be able to build your account. And when you build your account, then you can now the game changes a little bit. You can adjust. So when to increase size? Because I feel like I may have given you the impression that once you hit $5,000, you can then start trading with 5 contracts, and when you hit 7,000, you can then start trading 5 to 10. No, you want to actually start increasing your size when you see 5 things I'm going to talk about now. The first one is your strategy is repeatable and profitable. If you're repeating, your strategy is one that you can come in and you can see it every day or every other day in the market, great. And you're able to then consistently execute the strategy. When you open your trading journal, you're able to see that your trades look the same. It's a great feeling when you can open your journal for over 20, 40 trades and you can see that your trades look the same. It shows that you're consistent. You're someone that is on ball. You're focused. Another important thing, emotional control at your current size. If you're worried about losing money when you have only 1 contract, what makes you think that you'll be able to handle 2? It's not going to be possible. So you need to be also tracking your emotions and okay, how am I feeling at this size? It wasn't easy for me to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to where I'm at now, which is 4. It wasn't. It was a pull back and forth. But with time you get there if you put in the work to understand yourself and understand your emotions. Number 4, you must have data. You must have stable data. You must journal your trades and be able to see that over the last 20 to 40 trades, which should take you like a month or 2 months to be able to make that decision that yes, I am consistent in my execution, the strategy is profitable, and you can then manage your emotions. And then consistent risk management. You don't want to be seeing like losses of 150 or losses of like 500 here, and then you have winners that are like 300 max, like, but yes, you're winning a little more. Like, it's just random. Then you're probably not ready to size up. You want to wait a little bit to see more consistency in the execution part and emotional control. So all in all, this is how I'm going to be scaling my account one contract at a time, using these metrics that I have shown you and using the option Greeks to manage my risk and know that, okay, I am increasing my position size at a controlled rate so that I do not panic and blow up my account. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.